Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Today on the show, we have the CEO of Sterling Metals, Matt Wilson, back on to discuss the copper market and to let us in on everything happening with Sterling Metals. Hey, Matt, welcome back to The Dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Cassandra. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Matt, let's start off with copper. The price of copper seems to be down recently on economic slowdown concerns. What's your near-term copper outlook?
Well, I think that, near term, it's pretty hard to project almost any commodity. I mean, the amount of things that happen in the world on a daily basis, it's a tough thing. I think that one thing is really sure, and that's over the long term, we need a lot more copper with the electrification movement, the green movement, and the fact that you don't have really too many new copper giants being found. I think that there's going to be a big issue with finding high quality new projects going forward.
Okay, so Matt, in a letter you wrote to shareholders last month, you mentioned a shift in focus from the Sale Pond asset to the Adeline project due to its vast copper potential. Can you delve deeper into this decision-making process and the key factors that prompted this change?
Yeah, it ties into that copper macro actually that we were just chatting about. I mean, you have this great long-term outlook for copper where you need big, new, high-quality projects, and not just big, new, high-quality projects because you have this supply deficit, but you also need them in good places in the world. And we are lucky we work in Newfoundland and Labrador, and both our projects are there. But you know, the scale of this Adeline project is just so immense. It's this vast 45 kilometers by 7 kilometers, and it really has, when you look at analogs in the world, it has the potential to put Canada back on the map as a top 10 copper producer on its own if it was to come to fruition. So I think the decision is simply just your risk reward. I mean, Sale Pond is a really exciting asset. I really think there's a mine there. And we're waiting on assays to see what happens. There's no way that we're just leaving it alone. But the refocus and kind of the shift is based on just what we're seeing at Adeline and the scale and the grade. So we're really excited pushing forward right now. We're in the middle of a drill campaign, and think that it was a good move.
In your marketing materials, the Adeline project is linked to significant copper deposits like the Queenawan Copper Belt and the Central African Copper Belt. What differentiates Adeline from other projects and makes it especially promising?
I think that every project, the more I've been doing this, the longer I've been more involved in actual exploration versus maybe on the investment side. You understand that every project really is different. I mean, the stuff in the Central African Copper Belt is its own way. Udokan in Russia and Siberian Belt is its own thing. White Pine in the Keweenawan district deals with native copper and narrower beds. I mean, each of these things have their own kind of special nature to them. And I think that the Labrador project is no different. Unfortunately, we just started our drilling, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on. But at the moment, there's copper in many different kinds of rocks, a lot of different, hydrothermal overprinting of these sediment-hosted beds. So you've got multiple styles of copper here, all coming together, which is really a good sign in the strength of the system. So I think that the big things for us is that you have copper in multiple places, multiple different kinds of rocks, and you have these cross-cutting structures along the sediment-hosted bed, which gives you this opportunity for these big blowout zones, and that's really the theory that we're chasing. So the unique nature of it is really just it's so big, the grades are good, and you have these structural conditions that allow for something big to play out where we're starting to drill.
Now, considering much of the historic exploration on the Adeline project occurred decades ago, what advancements or new technologies can you utilize this time to optimize the drill program?
First and foremost, we get to utilize some really good people. We have Dr. Neil O'Brien on staff. He was the SVP of exploration for Lundin Mining for 15 years. He's on the board of NGX, consultant with Filo. He's been involved with the Vicuña district in Argentina, which is really the best new copper address in the world since day one. He knows copper giants. He understands these systems. And alongside him, doing our geophysics works is Dr. Alan King, who was the chief geophysicist for Vale, did a lot of the Voisey Bay work, which is 200 kilometers north. So forgetting all of the technology that's out there at the moment, I think it all starts with people, like any business, whether you're in tech, mining, or biotech. Really, the people are what matters. So that they've spent the last couple of years layering all this data from the last 60 years. And so you're seeing that. And then I guess the other thing that we noticed is we've spent a lot of time on the ground this year, relogging old holes, kicking rocks over. And I think just the focus that we're able to have on this new kind of idea, this overprinting, the structural kind of zone that runs into each other. I think that's helping us a lot. And so it's not really a technology thing right now. More it is, it's just a kind of a focus on a different model. And I think that's what's going to pay off for us.
So after ending the first drill program at Adeline, you will have over $4 million cash on the balance sheet. Are there plans for Sterling to explore new projects, or is it all sort of contingent on the Adeline results at the moment?
Yeah, so I mean, we're still drilling right now. We're in the midst of our program. We have this 2,000 meter minimum. I would keep going. We have to wait. Our camp's on a lake, and so if there's any sign of ice, you can't land a float plane on it. So you have to wait until the winter. So right now we're planning for a winter program. We'll probably start at the end of February as a follow-up. It's kind of like one big program that we're just splitting in half, which as a junior is really good. So as you mentioned, we're going to have $4.5 million coming out of this. In today's market, it's an enviable position to be in, and we are using that money to refocus on the next program, right? We're going to learn from the results that we have from here. We're focusing primarily, if not solely, on this Ellis target, this one area within this 44-kilometer basin. So, I mean, this project is so big that you could have 9 different kinds of mines in this project, and they would never even see each other. So, there's definitely, with what we're seeing right now, we're not moving anywhere. We're not finding anything else. This is definitely where we want to be.
The market's tough right now. There are some copper projects with significant resources trading at depressed levels. How much thought goes into the share price and gaining market traction?
Oh, every day. So I think that it's a tough space out there right now. Truthfully, whether you're on whichever side of the table you're on, whether you're an issuer or on the investment side, I mean, you're investing in quality projects and the price goes down, it doesn't help anyone, right? So money begets money. So the more things go up, the more people have more money to invest in other things, and everyone gets excited. So we're in a pretty bear market right now. I think the TSXV is in pretty dire straits. And you have really high quality assets, like you said, trading at very low levels. But again, we're in this position where we have cash. We have really supportive shareholders, a history of raising funds. And I think that we're in a good position because we don't have to go back to the market right now, and can continue our work program without having to deal with that. That being said, I do hope that, if we do have good results, that the market will react. And I think that the key for us is, chatting with you and making sure that people understand how excited we are. This is a very unique project to be able to find. I mean, you see things like the market does react. You see things like the Aston Bay and the American West discovery up in Northern Nunavut. I mean, copper is a big deal. And I think that to find something new, especially in Canada, it's just very hard. And so I do think that shareholders, if there's enough there that this can carry through, that the stock price will reflect that.
Okay, Matt, so before we let you go here, is there anything else that shareholders or people interested in this story should be looking out for the remainder of the year with Sterling?
Yeah, I think that the next big things are assay results. So our core should just be on the truck for the first 3 holes. We're going to get that turned around in 2 to 3 weeks. Once it gets to the lab, it's being sent to Montreal from Goose Bay. So 5 to 10 days to get there, and then another 2 to 3 weeks to get results. After that, it should be every 2-3 weeks kind of thing for assays. We should have 10 to 12 holes drilled by the end of this all. So lots of news to come. Lots of, this is a completely new discovery, really. Lots of new things to talk about, and hopefully assays to back it up. So that's definitely what we're looking forward to within the company. And I would think that investors would be looking forward to the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, thanks for coming on today and giving us the update, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Cassandra. Really great to be here. Look forward to being here next time.
Thanks so much for watching today. We will be back with more interviews like this. So if you like that kind of thing, be sure to hit that subscribe button below me there so you don't miss out on the next one. Bye.